been fitted and is level and straight on the airframe. The next process will help you drill holes through the seat back and cross tube at the correct angle. With reference to the skid tube, measure the angle of the seat back. Note this angle. Remove the lower rear panels and make sure the seat back is all the way to the pilot's side. Make sure the clamp is all the way back against the lateral cross tube. Next, mark the 4 bolt hole locations on the cross tube. The hole locations should just be inside the seat bucket of each seat as shown here. Remove the door posts, windscreen, upper rear panels, roof panel, eyebrow panels, and all clecos from the seat back. Remove the seat back. Transfer the 4 marks to the front side of the cross tube. Using your digital protractor, reference the skid tube again and set the drill right jig at the same angle as the seat back. Drill the 4 holes. Deburr the holes. Reinstall the seat back and make sure it's pushed all the way to the pilot's side. Reinstall any shims and clamp in position. Now reinstall all the panels and windscreen. Make sure the body is straight and fits the airframe as you had before. Drill the seat back holes from behind using the cross tube as a template. Secure the seat back to the airframe with clecos. Fabricate a simple tool to transfer the location of the seat back edge to the outside body panels. Mark the edge of the seat back as shown. The seat back edge is approximately 3/4 of an inch wide. Center the cleco holes accordingly. Lay out and drill the holes for the seat back to the body panels. Referencing the construction print, you'll notice the screws and nut plates are 2.5 inches on center and the Zeus fasteners are 5 inches on center. Occasionally, the proper spacing is not equal in all areas. You can adjust the distance slightly to make the fasteners fit, as long as you keep the distance between them as close to the distance called for in the construction print. When drilling the rear panels, have someone help support the panels from behind to maintain hole and seam alignment. Note: the body parts are held in position with nut plates, screws, and Zeus fasteners. The windscreen is secured using 632 screws, washers, and lock nuts.
Okay.
When drilling the hole for this nut plate, be sure and not place the hole too close to the end of these panels. Try and avoid hole placement near the seam of the floor pan and seat back. Check that the four seams in this area come together at some point. If they do not, a file or wood block wrapped in sandpaper works well for precise trimming and fitting and will leave a smooth finish. Sand or file away a little at a time. Note: on E32, Card 1 includes long Zeus fasteners, part number E00-8001. They are used in the four corners and the bottom where the front and rear doghouse panels meet. Fabricate and install a piece of 50 thousandths aluminum to allow for a backing plate for the Zeus spring. This plate is attached to the upper fuselage panel. Now, where the four corners meet, cut the tub corner and the rear upper panel corner at an angle to each other as shown. With all four panels in place, drill a pilot hole. When all the panels are fitted, open your pilot holes and install the Zeus spring and fastener. The doghouse panels will need the same treatment. When all panels are fitted, install a piece of 50 thousandths aluminum and a long Zeus fastener to secure the panels. This shows the fitted body panels with Clecos. This is the doghouse panels as received from Rotorway. Place the doghouse front panel on top of the body and clamp in position. Check that the screw holes in the windscreen will not interfere with the edges of the doghouse in that area. You may also need to trim off the part of the lip on the upper front panels to clear the doghouse. If the collective actuator fork contacts the fiberglass, adjust the doghouse on the body for more clearance. However, if this does not help, the actuator fork can be trimmed off as necessary up to the spot face, which is the circular machined flat around the hole, shown here. If you need to remove some of the excess material of the actuator fork, do not disassemble the main shaft. Cut in place with a hacksaw or air grinder. Note: do not locate a Zeus fastener where it would come in contact with the actuator fork. Install the front doghouse panel with Clecos. There should be no pressure on the windscreen from the front part of the doghouse. Install the rear doghouse panel. Try fitting the panels together at the vertical seam. Then check the fit and install the Clecos on the bottom edge. Before installing Clecos, Check that the doghouse sets level with the rest of the body panels. Sand and trim as necessary. Locate the hinge on E32 card 1T. Reference the instructions in the construction manual for the inspection panel installation. Note: use the scribe line as an approximate guide when trimming for fit. Final fit may be slightly different from the scribed line. Make a cutout for the hinge in the inspection panel as shown. Then rivet the hinge to the panel. Cover the rivets with Bondo and sand smooth. Make a cut in the doghouse as shown. Drill the other side of the hinge and rivet the 4 8/32 nut plates to the hinge. Use 6 Zeus fasteners spaced as shown to secure the panel to the doghouse. Fit and install the front inspection panel. Sand the edges of the panel for the desired fit. Drill 4 holes, 1 in each corner. Use care when locating holes for the Zeus springs to maintain edge distance. The openings around the landing gear should be close to but not touching the gear. This will need to be trimmed later because the weight of the completed ship will cause the gear to flex. This shows shipping wrap that is temporarily used to protect the paint finish on the landing gear while fitting the body. When the fit is satisfactory, open the cleco holes in the seat back to 3/16 of an inch and install the bolts. Part number E00-2308.
Okay.
Use 3/16 inch fender washers, part number E00-4302, on the head of the bolts. Do not over-tighten the bolts. Drill and install 2 bolts, part number E00-2312, through the seat back bottom and airframe tube as noted with arrows. This shows the bolt through the airframe tube secured with the lock nut. It may be necessary to trim the fender washer to fit the contour of the seat back.
Okay, we are just over halfway through section 8, but now we're going to have to remove all the body panels. We're going to have to install all the final fasteners, the nut plates, and the Zeus springs and Zeus buttons. But while the body panels are off, we're going to cut and install the inspection panels and the seat back bottom. We're also going to install the cabin comfort controls and the doors. So we got quite a bit of work to do, so let's get started.
Using templates E32-1 and E32-2, cut out the seat back and battery access panels out of 50 thousandths aluminum material. The 2-inch by 4-inch doublers are to reinforce the seams. Use a spray adhesive to secure the templates to the material. Note: these templates are also used to locate the electrical components on the seat back panels. The templates face the engine. Position the aluminum panels on the shiny area of the seat back as shown. Use masking tape to help when marking the lines. Be sure to orientate the panels with the correct side facing the engine. The top of the panel should be 1 3/8 of an inch below the top edge of the shiny surface. The side of the panel should be 2 7/8 of an inch from the edge of the shiny surface. Drill and secure the panels with clecos. Drill the holes in the doubler and then use it as a template to drill the holes in the panels. After the access panel has been fitted, trace the panel's outside edge. Remove the panels and mark the opening to be cut 3/4 of an inch inside the traced outline of the panels on all sides. Install the Zeus fasteners as shown. Fit the doublers facing the front of the ship as shown. Before fitting the seat bottom access panel, locate the template for the ECU tray and apply it to the stock material. Drill the holes in the template. Fit the ECU tray to the seat back as shown. Best fit is off-center to the pilot's side. Before applying the seat bottom access panel template to the material, verify the position of the access panel on the seat bottom passenger side. Lay out and trim the access panel for the best fit. Now attach the seat bottom template to the aluminum. Cut the material and bend to fit the contour of the seat back. Follow the same procedures with the seat back panels. Trace and cut 3/4 of an inch inside the traced line.
Okay.
Install the 6 Zeus fasteners. Note: when installing the Zeus springs on the fiberglass surface, be sure the material is not too thick. You must carefully grind some of the material away, or otherwise the Zeus button won't be long enough.
Okay.
Cut 5 pieces of the foam in half. Wire the 5 pieces under the pilot seat and 5 pieces under the seat bottom inspection panel on the passenger's seat. Use safety wire in a cross pattern. This precaution will provide a good deal of cushioning in the event of a hard landing. Using template E32-2, cut out the aluminum heel plates and install them in the floor pan using Clecos. After painting, the heel plates are installed with aluminum pop rivets. The heel plates are wear plates and also provide a smooth surface for your heels to slide on during directional control movements. These are the cyclic inspection panels as received from Rotorway. It's best to fit these panels after rigging in section 25. These are the cabin comfort parts as received from Rotorway. The cabin comfort small parts are located on E54 card 1F. Note: on the 3-way collector, the inlets are directly across from each other. The outlet is on the hole that is 90 degrees to the 2 inlets. Trace and cut out the butterflies of the 50,000th aluminum material to fit the openings. Bend the butterfly shafts 90 degrees, 3 1/4 of an inch from one end. The shafts may be heated to make bending easier. Measure 7/8 of an inch from the end of each inlet and drill a 1/4 inch hole parallel to the outlet hole. Insert the shafts as shown.
Okay.
To align the proper open and close location of the butterfly, rotate the rod until it just clears the outlet hole as shown. Hold this position and place a piece of tape on the rod. This will indicate the full open position for the butterfly when installed. Move the shaft to full open and full closed positions. This will verify that the butterflies will be mounted correctly before drilling the attachment holes. Rotate the rod to the full closed position and mark the entire length of the rod inside the inlet opening. Remove the shaft and mark a 1/2 inch from the end of each line. Drill 2 1/8 inch holes. Measure 1/2 of an inch from the edge of the butterfly and drill only 1 1/8 inch hole. Install the shaft and butterfly in the collector with 1 Cleco and mark each side of the shaft. Remove the shaft and butterfly. Cleco them together. Align the shaft with marks and drill the second hole in the butterfly. Install the shafts and butterflies in the collector and file them to fit if necessary. Remove the shaft and measure 1 1/8 inch from the bend. With a number 53 drill a hole parallel to the butterfly shaft and cut off the excess material. This hole is where the control cable will be attached. Reinstall the shafts and butterflies and cleco in place. Remove one cleco and install a pop rivet. Then install the second pop rivet. Final installation of the butterflies on the shaft in the collector. It will be necessary to countersink the rivet holes in the collector deeper because of the thickness of the material. Locate and mount the collector to the floor pan on the front of the passenger foot pedals. Rivet 2 nut plates to the collector for mounting to the floor pan. This is the cabin fresh air scoop that will be installed in the center of the tub, 20.5 inches from the front edge of the tub. Use the scoop as a pattern and make a paper template. Trace the template and cut out the hole in the tub floor. Check the fit and attach the scoop to the tub. Secure with pop rivets and use silicone as a gasket. The fresh air scoop installed looking from inside the tub. Next, you'll need to cut slots in the front of the floor pan for cabin comfort ventilation. Use tape to lay out for the cabin air slots. There will be 4 slots, 2 on each side. Find the center of the floor pan and measure 4 inches to the left and 4 inches to the right. This will be the starting point of the slots. Each slot will be 3.5 inches long and 3/8 of an inch wide. The slots will be 3.5 inches apart. Keep the front edge of all the slots 3/4 of an inch from the windscreen edge of the pod. Drill a 3/8 inch hole at each end of the slots. Use a cutting wheel on an air grinder to cut the slot openings between the 3/8 inch holes as shown. Deburr the slots with fine sandpaper. Locate the plenum. The plenum can be fiberglass to the underside of the floor pan. Hold in place with clamps while bond is curing. Another option is silicone adhesive. Make sure the plenum is centered and the slots in the floor pan are over the plenum opening for the airflow. Clean with acetone. Install with adhesive. As an option, you can install 2 clecos that can later be changed to 632 countersunk screws, or you can use Bondo to fill the holes. Reference print E41-2000 doors. Doors and stiffeners as received from Rotorway. Small parts and hardware for the doors can be located on E41 card 1F. Cut several pieces of 3/16 inch thick cardboard into 1 inch wide strips and tape them to the inside door openings. The cardboard will provide the clearance needed between the door stiffener and the body when opening and closing the door. Check the fit of the door stiffener tight against the cardboard. It may be necessary to cut the stiffener and/or remove a piece to make it fit. Mark and trim where the stiffener will butt together. Use masking tape to hold in place. Hold the plexiglass door against the stiffener so that it extends beyond the stiffener all the way around the door. Use masking tape to hold in place. Lay out the location of the rivet holes around the door with a felt tip pen. The rivets will be 2 inches apart and centered on the stiffener. Place a thin piece of sheet stock between the stiffener and the body panel when drilling to prevent damage to the body panel. Drill the 1/8 inch holes using a plexiglass drill bit and install the clecos. When all the holes are drilled, remove the door and stiffener. Use a felt tip pen to outline both sides of the stiffener. Remove the plexiglass from the stiffener and trim to the outside line. Use a grinding wheel and sandpaper to trim the edge. Peel back and remove about 1 inch or 2 of the protective film from the edge of the plexiglass door. Use an air nozzle to help remove this thin material. Countersink the holes in the plexiglass for the head of the pop rivets. Builder tooltip. Use a microstop to countersink these holes. Use 220 grit sandpaper to sand about a 1 inch edge of the plexiglass inside where it mates with the stiffener. Wipe clean with acetone. Sand the stiffener smooth inside and out and clean with acetone. Prepare some resin and the catalyst and apply a coat on the edge of the plexiglass door and the stiffener where they will be bonded. Place the stiffener on the plexiglass and install the pop rivets. If you have a seam, lay a couple pieces of glass material to reinforce the joint. Allow the resin to cure. Use the stem of a rivet and tap out the head of the rivets as shown. Then file or grind the end of the pop rivets flush with the stiffener. Cut a piece of plexiglass and smooth the edges to fit against the stiffener and door, or cut a piece off a Bondo squeegee. Use this piece to apply Bondo in the corner where the door and stiffener meet, as demonstrated here. Here is a look at the desired finish when painted. Fill the gap between the fiberglass and the stiffener of the outside edge with Bondo. When painted, the edge will look like this. Use template E41-1 and E41-2 when fabricating the door hinges and latches.
Okay.
Drill the holes where indicated, then cut out the parts. Bend the door latches where indicated on the templates. Remember, there will be a pilot and passenger side latch, so they must be opposite. Reference the construction print. Draw a line parallel to the bottom of the door, 7 inches from the bottom edge. This will be the location of the bolt to hold the lower hinge to the door. Install only one cleco in the lower hinge. Refer to construction print E41-2000 for hinge and stall strip location. The print shows the top hinge bolt hole should be 17 inches from the bottom hole. Drill only one hole and cleco in place. The stall strip should be installed on center between the bolt holes and riveted in place with 6 evenly spaced rivets. Countersink the holes before installing the rivets. Before painting, cover the rivets and blend the stall strip to the door with Bondo to form a smooth aerodynamic surface at the leading edge and at the top and bottom. Drill out the cleco hole with a 3/16 inch drill bit and countersink the hole. Install the countersink bolt in each hinge to hold the hinge to the door. Bolt the two parts of the hinge together. Place the cardboard around the door opening. Hold the door in the opening and drill one hole in each of the hinges on the doorpost. Open the door. If the hinges do not try to move, they are in alignment. Drill the remaining holes. Cleco and install the bolts. Reference the construction print to locate the position of the door latches. Mark the positions and remove the doors. Place the bent latch on the spacer. Position the latch so the bend clears the door stiffener. Make sure before you drill the hole for the bolt to rotate the latch to verify the clearance between the latch and stiffener. Note, it may be necessary to trim the fiberglass around the door opening to achieve the desired fit around the latches. The weather stripping is used on the doors as gasket material and should not be installed until after the doors have been painted. Now reinstall the doors without the cardboard strips. Locate and cut the slots in the floor pan for the bottom latch. Cut out and rivet in place a piece of 50 thousandths aluminum around the slit as a wear plate. Note the rear door latch uses a pen through the door for outside locking. Note, it's best not to remove the protective film from the doors until after all the work and painting is finished. At this point, the body has been assembled and fitted with only minor details remaining. Zeus fasteners and nut plates should be installed in all panels. Complete the following as the body is disassembled for painting. Cut an opening in each of the side air scoops as shown. Leave about a 1/4 inch lip around the edge of the opening to provide stiffness. Cut out the opening of the air intake scoop in the bottom of the tub. Leave a slight lip about a 1/4 inch around the opening for stiffness. After the windscreen has been completely fitted, remove it from the ship. With the windscreen inverted on a table, mark a line 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the windscreen all the way around. This line is for reference when masking. Peel back the protective coating from the edge and trim it with scissors. Use cotton